This review is going to be a short one because there is nothing extraordinary with this presentation. At least, not yet. Don't get me wrong, I did enjoy most situations, but the story is convoluted and chaotic. And the reason why I said that this anime is not extraordinary in any way, yet, is because it has the potential to become one. A prince of a worthless nation that doesn't want to be prince, he just wants to sell it. A sidekick that he himself considers his heart. Being of a race that is being oppressed and desecrated. Enemies and unexpected allies left and right. And a lot of soft political intrigue. And that is the issue. Soft, light, like a smooth tea on a chilly spring afternoon. That is the way that I describe the Geniu Prince's guide. It has all of the ingredients, I can see it. However, this season was just world building on the continent nations and a presentation of the closest kingdoms and royalties, but hardly anything else. The prince, Wein, is the most interesting character of the show. The main reason is how complex he is. His personality is chaotic. On one side, he hates the position he holds and conspires against the interests of his kingdom to get his way. But at the same time, when things don't go as planned, he plays along and tries, in most cases successfully, to be one step ahead of his adversaries. Sometimes he's warm, especially to his heart Ninim, but others he's just a cold-blooded killer, especially on those that undermine or insults her in any way. A merciless and fearless strategist that will confront kingdoms to get what he wants. The character never gets boring, and the only reason why I kept watching. He's also very absurd and contradicts himself a lot, but mostly because he goes with the flow until he sees an opportunity to fix something to go in his favor, and then he takes it. Ninem, the prince's heart, whatever that means, is his personal assistant and closest ally. As I said before, she's from a race that are almost extinct due to a genocide conducted by other kingdoms. Her background and how she becomes so close to the prince is not well established at the beginning of the story. She's sweet and loves his prince in a very mature and serious way. She's also a skillful warrior that won't be afraid to get blood on her hands to defend him and the kingdom. She is also complex, but not as much as she mostly follows orders from Wein. But it seems that her background is more obscure than how she is presented. Regarding the rest of the cast, we get Mina, the youngest princess and pretender to the throne of the neighboring empire that is on the brink of a civil war, Zeno, the guerrilla leader of a fallen kingdom with an interesting background and hidden motives, and a young Falania, the youngest sister of Wein and princess of the kingdom, who loves her brother dearly and wants to help him on his tasks. Without knowing that he doesn't want to be prince, she sees in him a hero. Now Falania has a great arc when she visits a merchant city and discovers how merchants resolve their dispute in an assembly. The house of the people of the small but powerful city becomes of great interest on the young princess. The development and resolution of that story is fantastic. For the rest of it, animation OST is average for a fantasy anime. It looks good and sounds decent enough, very similar to other presentations, so no complaints or praise in that department. The Geniu Prince's Guide to Raising a Nation Out of Debt is a decent political thriller based on a fantasy world that doesn't dive deeper in the many subplots that it opens in its 12 episodes. And even though some of them get kind of resolved, this first season seems like a massive world building for the future to come. On the positives, it looks and sounds decent enough to keep you entertained, and a very interesting main character that drives the plot from mystery and humor. But other than that, this presentation is just a hint of what it could become in the future. But as it stands right now, for me, is a 5 out of 10. Not good enough to keep you wanting more, but it will keep you watching. If political intrigue is not your thing, it will be very hard to swallow, especially given the chaotic settings. Perhaps in the future this story will focus in a single issue interesting enough to keep us wanting more. Tell me, are you into political thrillers in a fantasy world settings? Or you are more on the side of monsters and dungeons? Let me know in the comment section down below. Guys, thank you all so much for watching. Like the video if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Join the Discord for free. The link is in the description section down below. And as always, I wish you all a wonderful day.